Okay, guys, we're gonna be solving systems of equations. All right, so we're gonna be using two properties. The first one is the one that says that if you have two equalities, like in this case, 6 minus 9 is -3. Is that right? And then -1 plus 6 is +5. That's another equality. They're both true. So there's a property that says that we can add each column and come up with another equality. So I'm gonna try that. I'm gonna do 6 minus 1 is 5. -9 plus 6 is -3. And then -3 plus 5 is +2. See, by adding each column, I come up with another equality. That means I'm allowed to do that. I'm allowed to add up each column and come up with an equality. Alright, so I'm gonna use that to do elimination. Okay, and there's another property that we know, like it could be like, for instance, 5 minus 2 equals 3, right? That's a true statement. That then I could multiply everything by, and that equality by a number, you come out with another equality. 5 times 4 is 20. 2 times 4 is 8. 3 times 4 is 12. See, I come out with another equality. So I'm gonna be using these two properties to solve systems, right? You can copy that. Okay, so I'm gonna do elimination method to solve this system. Okay, so the first thing I need to look for is I'm gonna be adding each column, right? So I have to make sure that when I add each column, one of the variables cancel out. In this case, I notice that if I add up each column, what's gonna happen? The y's are gonna cancel out. So that's good for me for now. I'm gonna cancel the y's out. X plus x is 2x. -15 minus 5 is -20. We just divide and get x equals -10. Right? And then to find the other variable, just go back to any of these two and plug in the value of x, -10. So let's go, like, I don't know, let's go over here if you want. Let's put it right here. So I got x is -10, so I'm gonna have -10 plus y equals -5. Then we just add 10 to both sides, and I come up with the value of y, which is +5. So that's it. -10 and 5 is the solution to my system. Copy now. Now I'm going to try to solve this system, and then again I notice that if I add up each column, now the x is going to cancel out. See that? You have to do that every time you add up each column. So you got 3y plus 4y is 7y, and 3 plus 11 is 14. We just divide by 7, and y equals 2. Again, to find the value of y, just plug it in anywhere. I'm going to plug it in here. So I'm going to have x plus 3 times 2 equals 3. X plus 6 equals 3. Take away 6. So x equals -3. And that's the solution to my system, -3 and 2. Now if you look at this system, if I add up at this point, nothing's going to cancel out. The x's are not canceling out because they have the same sign. So x plus x is 2x. So I need to make one of them negatives. So what I do is I multiply one of them by -1. right? Because all you need to do is change the sign of the x to negative x. So this becomes negative x, that becomes a positive 2y, and this one becomes a positive 6. Now I'm going to be working with this system right here. Now I'm ready to add, because now I know the x are going to cancel out. Negative 3y plus 2y is negative 1y, and that gives you negative 4 plus 6 is positive 2. And then it's like, I don't want this negative, so I multiply by or divide by negative 1, so you get y equals negative 2. To find the value of x, we just plug in, let's plug it in here. Let's plug this right here. So I'm going to have that x minus 2 times negative 2 equals negative 6. X plus 4 equals negative 6. Take away 4. X is negative 10. Right? So that's the solution to my system. Negative 10 and 2. That's a negative 2. So negative 10 and negative 2. Okay, this is our next example, and in this case we notice that there's nothing canceling out, and it's not just changing the sign of them or of one of them, because I don't see anything canceling out. So you have to concentrate in one variable. Like if I look at the y's right here, I notice that if I have a positive 3y down here, I'll be able to cancel the y's out. Same thing up here. If I have a negative 2 up here, I'll be able to cancel the x's out. So you can start either way. Okay, so I don't know, whatever you want. You want to cancel the x's first, you multiply the top by negative 2. So let's do that. Multiply the top by negative 2. Right? That will do it, because now I have negative 2 times x is negative 2x. Negative 2 times negative 3y is positive 6y. And negative 2 times negative 5 is positive 10. Now I'm ready to work with these two, because I know that these are going to cancel out. That gives you 7y 21, so y equals 3. And then we just plug in the 3 anywhere. Any of the two original equations. So this one seems easier, so I'm going to plug it in there. So I have 2x plus y, but I know now that y is 3, equals 11. Take away 3. 2x equals 8. X equals 4. 4 and 3 is a solution to my system. On the next example, we notice that that nothing is gonna cancel out again, right? So I need to make it happen. So I think the easiest one will be to make that a positive 4y. Therefore, I multiply by 4 the whole equation by 4. So I got 20x plus 4y equals negative 8. Now I could combine those two, because I know now the y's are going to cancel out. That gives you 23x negative 23, and then x equals negative 1. all we have to do at this point is plug in the value of x anywhere up there. So let's do it right here. I think it looks easier here. I'm gonna put it in there. So we're gonna have 5 x, but I know now that x is -1. 5 times -1 plus y equals -2. -5 plus y equals -2. And then we just add 5 to both sides. Y equals 3. -1 and 3 is the solution to my system. Okay, so in this example we notice that nothing is going to cancel out unless I do something about it. And it's not that easy because it doesn't, you don't just need to multiply one equation by a number, because 2 times nothing is going to give you 5 unless you deal with decimals or fractions, but I don't want to do that. Same thing over here. So what you do in this case is concentrate on one variable and multiply both by a number and bring both numbers to the least common multiple. Like for instance, the least common multiple for 5 and 2 is 10. So to get this to 10, you multiply by 2. So multiply the whole equation by 2. And to make this a 10, you multiply by 5. So multiply the whole equation by 5. See, that's gonna give you positive 10, and that's gonna give you a negative 10. Okay, so that's what I'm doing then. I'm gonna multiply the top by 2, so I'm gonna have 4x plus 10y equals 22, and the bottom one by 5, so you get 15x minus 10y equals negative 60. Okay, so now we just cancel that out. That gives you 19x equals, what's negative 60 plus 22? That's gonna be negative negative 38. Yeah, negative 38. And we divide negative 38 by 19, and that should give you negative 2. So I got the value of x. To find y, we just plug it into any of the two original equations. So I'm gonna choose the top one. Let's do it right here. So you can have 2 times negative 2 plus 5y equals 11. Negative 4 plus 5y equals 11. We got 4. 5y equals 15. So y equals 3.